What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Let's take a look at a fighter by the name of Marty Servo. Marty Servo was a welterweight champion of the world, and he relinquished the title, and that allowed, this was in 46, he allowed Sugar Ray Robinson and Tommy Bell to fight for that crown. So let's take a look at Marty Servo's career. Now, Marty Servo was born November 9th, 1919 in Schenectady, New York. His nationality is Italian-American, and he was managed by Al Wow. In 1937, he won the Golden Glove Featherweight Championship. 1938, he won the Diamond Belt Featherweight Championship. In 1938, he lost in finals of a National AAU Featherweight Championships to George Solomon. And that's when he gave up the amateur ranks and decided to turn professional. He had 95 amateur fights, winning 91, losing 4. He began his professional debut on January 8, 1938 against a fighter by the name of George Hall. This was in Washington. He defeated him in 6 rounds. A good start to Marty Servo's professional career. February 12th, Eddie Vaquer, Brooklyn, New York. He would knock him out in 2 rounds. February 29th, Joe Koski, Amsterdam, knock him out in 2 rounds. And this would continue. He would win or knock out his opponent in the year of 1938. In the year of 1939, he would continue his winning streak, wins and knockouts. He would begin that year facing a fighter by the name of Vince DeMarco, January 3rd in New York. He would knock him out in 3 rounds. He would face Eddie Barton on January 10th, 1939 in New York City, and he would defeat him in 6 rounds. And as you can see here, consistent wins, consistent knockouts. Lloyd Lasky fought him twice. New York City defeated him in 6. And in Queens, New York, knocked him out in 1 round, April 20th and April 25th. He would face Frankie Rayo twice in Brooklyn. He would defeat him both times in 6 rounds, May 8th and May 12th. He would face Bobby Ivy, Hartford, Connecticut. He would defeat him in 8 rounds. Jerry Zulu, Hartford, Connecticut, defeat him in 8 rounds. Fought October 10th and December 1st, 1940. He would face Lenny Mancini. January 24th, Garden, 6-round draw, 1940. Now, Lenny Mancini, was the father of Ray Boom Boom Mancini. In fact, that was Lenny Mancini's name, Boom Boom. Eddie Zivic, July 25th, one of the 5 Zivic brothers, youngest being Fritzy Zivic. Fought him in Hartford, Connecticut, knocked him out in 6 rounds. Lou Fontana, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who defeated him in 8 rounds on September 16th, 1940. 1941, he would have a very busy year. Freddie Archer, February 28th, he would defeat him in 6 rounds. Billy Bullock, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he would knock him out in 4 rounds on March 3rd, 1941. Bill Duffy, Hartford, Connecticut, defeat him in 8 rounds on April 22nd, 1941. July 15th, he would face Bobby Britton in Hartford, Connecticut, and defeat him in 10 rounds. Now, I want to take a look at this fight here. September 25th, Ray Robinson, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he would lose to him in 10 rounds. I want you to remember that loss. December 19th, Larry DeRoss, Hoffman Island, New York. He would have a 4-round exhibition. He needed time to think about that loss. 1942, February 17th, Lou Jenkins, Philadelphia. He would defeat Lou Jenkins. Now, Lou Jenkins would become lightweight champion of the world in defeating Lou Ambers. Now, on May 28th, Ray Robinson, New York City, he would lose to him in 10 rounds. And they would go into the U.S. Army Coast Guard. Now, there's all kind of stories about Ray Robinson in that Coast Guard. He was climbing the stairs and he fell and he got dizzy and he didn't know where he was. And he wound up in Staten Island. And that's how he got out of the Army. But those are stories. December 10th, he would knock out a fighter in Providence, Rhode Island in the 5th round. 1946, January 10th, Stanley Baby Sims, good fighter, I have his profile. In Schenectady, New York, he would defeat him in 10 rounds. February 1st, Freddie Red Cochran, New York City, he would knock him out in 4 rounds and win the welterweight champion of the world. This is Freddie Red Cochran. Out of Newark, New Jersey. March 29th, Rocky Graziano, New York City. He would be knocked out in 2 rounds by Rocky Graziano. Title was not on the line. August 15th, Bobby Larkin. No decision, 10 rounds exhibition for wounded vets. Now at this time, these guys were in the military. He announced his retirement August 15th, 1946. 1947, July 21st, Benny Singleton. Albany knocked him out in 2 rounds. Now remember, he announced his retirement August 15th. I want y'all to pay attention to things that I'm saying here. 1946, August 15th, he faced Bobby Larkin. That was an exhibition for wounded vets. He announced his retirement, okay? So in 1947, July 21st, Benny Singleton, Albany, he knocked out a fighter in 2 rounds. August 5th, he was stopped in 1 round, and that would be his last fight. Now, he announced his retirement on August 15th, 1946. Okay? He had an exhibition for a wounded vets. But he came back in 1947, right? Let's see what's going on here. Now we're going to go back to September 25th, 1941 against Ray Robinson. Philadelphia, he lost in 10 rounds. Now let's look at the losses he had up until that point. He had none, okay? First loss was to Ray Robinson, 1941, September 25th, Philadelphia. Then he had an exhibition. Okay, Hoffman Island. Then in 1942, he defeated Lou Jenkins, Philadelphia. May 28th, he faced Ray Robinson in New York City and lost another 10 rounds. They went to the Coast Guard. (1945) December 10th, Freddie Musso, Providence, knocked him out in 5 rounds. He would face Stanley Baby Sims, 1946, January 10th. He would face Freddie Ray Cochran. He would win the welterweight championship. He'd be knocked out by Rocky Graziano in 2 rounds. All right. Then he fought Jimmy Ernest, exhibition for wounded vets. Bobby Larkin, same thing, exhibition for wounded vets. So I'm wondering what took place here. The next fighter he was supposed to fight, let's see who it was. Now this is the Ring Rankings, October 1946. He was the world champion. He took the title away from Freddie Ray Cochran. Next fighter was Sugar Ray Robinson. But before Robinson can get that shot with Marty Servo, who he defeated twice, Marty Servo retired. Marty Servo didn't want any more smoke with Sugar Ray Robinson. Because in that Philadelphia fight, Servo took a beating. And we got to remember, back in those years, prejudice was very high. And there was no way in the world he was going to allow himself to take another beating from Sugar Ray Robinson. So he relinquished the title. Then he made a comeback in 1947, after Robinson had already taken the title from Tommy Bell, because Tommy Bell and Ray Robinson fought for that title in 46. Here you have Bell number 7. So I just wanted to cover that situation with Marty Servo. And I wanted to see what happened in 1946, and I think I got my answer. Marty Servo relinquished his title to avoid another punishment with Sugar Ray Robinson. And that's a fact. This is nothing new that I'm saying here. And it happens. You know, I guess it can happen in any era, but that's what happened. Marty Servo avoided Sugar Ray Robinson for their third fight. Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Salute to my subscribers. And I'll give a salute to Marty Servo. He had a very good amateur career, very good pro career. And great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to my subscribers. Peace.